Let this sink in. Your ability to focus is directly affecting the quality of your life. The same is also true with your inability to focus. There's 3 laws I'm going to share with you around focus here, but the key to this whole thing is peak performers are intensely focused, and they focus on the right things for the right amount of time. Oh, this is good. Now, if we don't get this right, fellas, think about it. What happens if your focus is off? What happens if you haven't developed the skill set to really focus on your wife? You see, what I hear most from women, and we get to do couples coaching, and I've been coaching people literally around the globe for over 2 decades. Women want to have what they call intimate conversations with their husbands. And if you're distracted, you're looking at watching a game or looking at the stock market or checking your email or just scrolling on your phone, if you're there but your thoughts are all over the place, you're at work, you're at this, you're there, you're running all your tasks, like if you're not really present with her, if you don't super focus, she knows it and she feels it. And she may have said some things and then maybe she stopped saying things and she just kind of wrote it off. But I promise you, the ability to focus on your wife is affecting the quality of your marriage. What about with your kids, right? What if you have an inability to really focus on your kids, to focus on what they're interested in, to what they're saying, to what they're doing? See, fellas, you might be missing clues that are coming from your kids because you haven't learned and disciplined yourself to really focus. The same is true with work. The same is true with skill set, with every area of your life, with leadership especially. If we do not learn how to focus and do it like a master, we will have to settle for a lower quality of life. Whoa! Okay, so there are 3 rules, right? 3 laws rather, around focus. Number 1 starts with a story. You guys, I love martial arts, and I think everyone should try some martial arts at every time in their life. Just go take some classes, take it for a few months or a few years. Just, you learn so many awesome things. But I was taking these martial arts classes, and this guy who was much smaller than me, so I had him, I had a weight advantage, and I was stronger than he was. He just kept kicking my butt, right? He was just handing it to me again and again and again, and I was exasperated, right? And I would learn and I'd go back and learn and go back, and he just kept working me. And I'm like, what is going on? And he taught me this awesome principle that applies in martial arts, but man, I immediately caught its application for the rest of life. He said, where the head goes, the body follows. Let that sink in. Where the head goes, the body follows. That is true with focus, right? Whatever you focus on, your body follows, right? If your mind goes there, your body goes there, your life goes there. Wherever you put your focus, your whole life goes. And you can take that with every aspect of your life, every important area of your life: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, financial. Just look through every part of your life and say, what have I been focusing on? What have I not been focusing on? How has my ability to focus affect that area of my life? How has my inability to focus affected that area of life? But here's what's so important, fellas, is we often don't know what we don't know. You can't see it in the moment. It still surprises me. I get to work with awesome men every day, right? And we do one-on-one coaching. We have my Be the Man MASTERCLASS that we're group, and we have live trainings. And we get in there and we're working together. And I was constantly reminded of this, that until we're like really exposed to it, or somebody asks a question, or we have an experience, you get kind of just going, and you're focusing on the way you've been doing things, on the way things have always been done. Or maybe you picked it up from your your grandpa, or your great grandpa, or your dad, or a mentor, a leader, or a teacher, whatever. And you just pick it and you just kind of go. You're just going along. You're like, this is the way we've done things. And ever since we got married, we do it like this. And ever since we had kids, we do it like this. And I live in this neighborhood and drive these kind of cars and do this kind of work. This is what I've always done. And so it's almost a default focus. And until somebody grabs you and says, hey, what are you doing? You're like, what? Oh man, like I didn't realize it, right? We often don't realize that we are settling for a lower quality of life because of our inability to focus, or our ability to focus, but not in the right things, in the right area for the right amount of time. So the first law, where your head goes, your body follows. Remember that, whatever you're focusing on, and you can, it's just true in everything. If you look at a certain area, man, that's where it's gonna take you. You focus in on a certain area of finances or work, that's where you're going to go. You focus in on a certain area of parenting or marriage or leadership or trying to make a contribution or difference in the world, that's where you're going to go. You focus on a certain area of fitness or mental toughness or mental agility, education, your emotions, wherever you focus, like your head goes, your body's going to follow that. So be super crazy careful what you allow yourself to focus on. We have to, gentlemen, write this down. We have to learn to control and direct our focus. If you let other people, and this is what happens by default, either you and I choose deliberately and intentionally and consciously what we're going to focus on, or other people will choose for us. That's just how it works. It comes up in clever marketing. It comes up with other people's agendas. If you don't choose to focus on your own work, then you end up in your email box answering other people's agendas, right? You're checking messages, or you don't know what to focus on, and so you end up scrolling or wasting time. And then you're focusing on things that don't matter, and it's costing you the quality of your life. Yo! Okay, so number one, where your head goes, your body follows. Number two, what you focus on, you see. Now, man, that makes sense, right? What you focus on, you see, you're like, well, duh, that's kind of obvious. But pause to think about it. If I'm focusing on something, then I see that. But here's the rest of that story. Focus of necessity makes you blind to other things. Focus of necessity makes you blind to other things. So the law is what you focus on, you see. But the second part of the law is what you focus on prevents you from seeing other things. That's why it's super critical to choose what we focus on and for how long. And I think it's critical to pull up and look around. Change your perspective. Get a different angle. Constantly be exposing yourself to the greatest minds and ideas of all time. The greatest thinkers that ever lived. To be checking, like, what should I be focusing on here? What am I missing by being focused on this? And sometimes you'll come up and realize, man, I got to focus on something else because I'm missing the bigger picture. You've heard people talk about, missing the forest because of the tree, but some people are missing the tree because of the leaf. And so there are times to zone in on the leaf, but it's critical. There's times we have to back way out and shift our focus, totally transform it so that we make sure we're focusing in on the right thing. What are you missing because of what you're focused on? Just a moment ago, I talked about clues that we might be missing from our kids, clues that we might be missing from our spouse, clues that we might be missing from the condition of our car, or the condition of our house, or the condition of our economy, the condition of our society and civilization. We might be totally missing things because we're so focused in on something else, right? And it doesn't, sometimes it's crap. You're so focused in on just garbage, some worthless TV series, that you're missing thoughts, feelings, ideas, opportunities. I guarantee you, all of you are missing opportunities because of what you're choosing to focus on. That's just true for all of us. There are opportunities all over the place and we miss them because of what we choose to focus on, right? So be careful with that one. What are you missing at work? What are you missing you get genius ideas, opportunities, possibilities. what skill sets, what areas, what connections, what areas of improvement, right? There's so many things in life that we're not seeing because of what we're focused on. So that's just the necessity of it, right? That it's just going to happen. So if you choose to focus on something wonderful, you're going to miss out on other things. That's okay, right? You're like, that's part of the cost of focus. What you never want to have happen is you're so focused on sports or the game or yourself or selfish activities or things that don't matter, that you miss the things that actually do. So you got to stop and say, what have I honestly been focused on? Not what you tell yourself, right? Because we get deceived like that too, fellas. We get going along thinking, oh yeah, man, family first and God and doing the right thing, being a great guy. And yet if you stop and say, where am I actually spending my time? And you start tracking your time. And you start tracking your thoughts. All of a sudden you realize, like, dang man, I spend a couple hours every evening just scrolling on my phone, just watching videos or checking the news. Really? Seriously? What are you missing by focusing on the news? Whoo, man, this is good stuff. So check yourself. And number 2, what you focus on, you see. Number 3, there's the law here that's a big one. What you focus on, you feel. What you focus on, you feel. Makes sense, doesn't it? So let's take, for example, there's a lot of great things going on in your life. You've been very successful already, right? You've succeeded in a lot of ways. You can focus on what's going well in your life, or you can focus on what's not going well. Well, whichever one you choose to focus on determines how you feel because of the law. What you focus on, you feel. Now, if you focus on things that are not going well, I had a coaching session just yesterday, and I asked the question. I said, what do you feel when you're focusing on things that are not going well? And the response was so profound. It's like, it feels like nothing's going well. Isn't that fascinating? So many things could be going right in your life, but when you focus on what's not going well, it feels like nothing's going well. It feels like you're a failure. It feels like it's never enough. It feels like you're always chasing but never getting there. Going. It feels overwhelming. It feels stressful. You with me? What you focus on, you feel. Right? You have lots of good things in your life, but there's some things I bet you still want. Do you focus more on what you have or what you don't have? On what you've got or what's missing? Well, whatever you focus on, you feel. You focus on how wonderful your wife is, or do you focus on the few little things you do that she does that annoy you? And what you focus on, you feel. You focus on how great your kids are and all the great things they're doing and what an amazing privilege and opportunity it is to raise kids, or you focus on the little things they're doing wrong, the annoying things. What you focus on, you feel. You focus on the great things at work, the opportunities at work, or the challenges and the obstacles and the troubles at work. And you focus on why things aren't working or what's going to work, what is working. Are you focused on entitlement and playing the victim, like, oh, other people should do things for me? And are you focused on blaming and making excuses? Are you focused on ownership, taking accountability of what you can do? Are you focused on what's outside of your circle of influence or what's inside your circle of influence, right? But whatever you focus on, you feel. Hoo-wee, this is huge. This is huge, fellas. So we have to learn how to do this. Let me give you a couple tools, right? Number 1, I want to invite you to choose 2 things, 2 personal and 2 professional. And I want them to be things where you know you need to dramatically improve your focus, and that by focusing on these things will make a major positive difference in your life. It'll move the needle in your favor. So choose and write down 2 personal things and 2 professional things, right? And get those things down on paper. And then here's the key, right? Focus is actually far easier than most people think it is. We just usually are operating in perpetual self-sabotage, right? So what you have to do is choose what you're going to focus on, and that's where most people miss it. Like they don't deliberately and intentionally choose what to focus on. They're just like, oh, focus on this, focus on that. And other people tell them what to focus on. I'll go here and go there, and they're just distracted and they're all over the place, or focusing on the wrong thing. So step back, say, what will make the biggest positive difference? I'm going to focus in on that. And then you write it and rewrite it. I literally want you to write it down. When you wake up, take 30 seconds and rewrite your 4 things. Right? I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to focus on that. And that's every morning. What that does, it tells your brain like, oh yeah, this is what I'm focused on. This is what I'm working on. And then you work on those things, set aside time to work on those things without distraction. This is where another reason where most people fail. In fact, so many guys, first thing they do in the morning is they check their messages, their inbox. Man, leave your phone in airplane mode. And it's the last thing they do before bed too, is they're checking messages and sending out texts or emails. Like, man, no. You don't book in your days with other people's agenda, with all this other tasks or ideas. I mean, if the last thing you're doing before bed and you're trying to have a good, peaceful night's sleep is checking emails, man, it's going to get in your head and mess with you all night. You're going to have a rough night sleeping. If the first thing you do in the morning is jump into other people's agenda, jump into a task, oh, it's terrible. You're going to see different things and you're going to feel different things, right? And where your head goes, your body's going to follow. So you get clear about what you're going to focus on. Remove distractions. If your phone's the most distracting thing, keep it in the other room. Keep it on airplane mode. If you keep getting a distraction on your computer, then stay off of it. If you have to use it, you may open one browser, one window, and work on that thing. Set an alarm. Use these apps. There's cool apps you can use that with timers, right? So that you're setting yourself up. And if you have to stop it for anything, you're distracted, like it counts against you. So gamify it, man, or work it. Hold some accountability. Ask your wife, ask your business partners, employees, employers, ask your kids. Like, kids are great at holding you accountable. Like, set up systems for success instead of the systems for sabotage that most people are operating in. And I promise, if you'll do that, this is what the masters do, right? This is what peak performers do. They choose a couple or a few very specific things to work on that they know will make a huge positive difference. And then they focus on those things to the intentional neglect of other things. Right now, you don't have to drop the ball. You don't have to be a lame husband because you need to improve your finances or your business, right? And your business doesn't have to fall apart because you want to be a really, really awesome, like world-class dad. You can do it all. You just need the tools and the strategies, which is exactly why I created the Be the Man Masterclass, so that you could have the tools and the strategies. In fact, that's even why I created the quiz. You guys need to take the quiz, right? It's the Be the Man quiz to see how you're doing. How are you measuring up across all areas of life? Some of us, and here's a focus problem, right? Some of us have been told, or just kind of came to an erroneous conclusion on our own, that I can't be great at all these important things. I just have to pick and choose which one. So I'll focus on this to the neglect of that. And then I'll hurry and jump over here and try to pick this up before it all falls apart. And then this one falls and you feel like you're just constantly running back and forth, juggling, because you've never really figured out how to focus on the right things in the right order for the right amount of time to make sure your life is optimized and awesome. So let this sink in. Focus on this. Focus on this, because the things you focus on, your ability to focus and your inability to focus, are directly affecting the quality of your life. Reach upward.